So we've created a dictionary. Here it's created on lines 3 and 4. Now what if we want to add items to it? You might be tempted to try to call an append method like we used with lists, but in dictionaries we don't need to. We define new keys in our dictionary the same way we define new variables in our regular program. We just basically pretend that they already exist and assign them a new value. So here, let's say I want to add a new key to my dictionary named gadgets. I do that by grabbing my dictionary, requesting the key gadgets, and setting it equal to the value 1. The key gadgets didn't exist in my original dictionary, but defining it in this way creates it. So here, I print the dictionary before defining gadgets and after defining gadgets. Before defining it, it's not there. After defining it, it is. And we also see here the delete function in action on dictionaries. We can call delete on a dictionary's key, and it will delete that key and its accompanying value from the dictionary. So after calling that, gadgets is again gone from my dictionary. The reason we create and use keys this way is that a dictionary cannot have multiple copies of the same key. If it did, it wouldn't know what value to return for that key. In other languages, the method for adding new keys is differentiated from the method for assigning values to existing keys, and those languages would throw up an error if we tried to add a previously existing key again. In Python, though, we have no way of re-adding an existing key because our way of adding a key in the first place is the same as our method for changing the value of an existing key. So we don't have to worry about the error of trying to create two copies of the same key. Sometimes, though, we might want to check to see if a key exists before assigning it. For example, imagine if we were building a phone book, and if a key already existed, then instead of changing the phone number, we would want to actually add a new key. We can do that by checking if a key exists before referring to it. So here we define a new dictionary on lines 3 and 4, and it has 3 names, David, Lucy, and Vishali, and we print it, and we see that those are in fact created as we expect. Then on line 8, we're simulating what would happen if a user tried to create a new key that matched an existing key. So they've gone through some dialogue to create a new contact, and they've put in the name David, but David already exists in the phone book. So we want them to give a different name to that new contact. The conditional if David in my dictionary returns true if David, or if any string specified here, is already a key inside my dictionary. Note that this application of the in operator checks keys, not values, and that'll become important. So this basically says that if David is already in the dictionary, then tell the user David is already in the dictionary, and then instead create a new key called David2 and give it the new phone number. Otherwise, go ahead and create David and give him the phone number. If we hadn't written this conditional and instead just jumped straight to line 12, then the current value of David would have been overwritten by the new value for David. So we can check to see if a key already exists in the dictionary. If we aren't sure, we want to change its value if it does. If we try to access a key in a dictionary that doesn't exist, though, Python will give us a key error. So here we're trying to print the value corresponding to the key Dana, but Dana doesn't exist in this dictionary. So we get a key error specifying that Dana is not a key in our dictionary. We could use that to deal with keys that aren't expected. For example, perhaps we want to use a try except block, so that if we try to change the value of a key that doesn't yet exist, we go ahead and create it before changing its value.